Evelyn is been such an asset to our community, not just at the museum, but other facets, whether it's at the Arts Festival or if it's at the Sharp Academy. She has been a huge blessing to our community in many ways. She is feisty and she's tough and she's a little cantankerous at times, but she has lots of wit and she's a very strong woman. And I have just been so fortunate to get to know her. She gets up sometimes at 5:30 in the morning and she's just always, I've got so much to do. And she works it in no matter what. At age 93, she's got more energy than me, and she's just got that bound and determined instinct in her, and if she decides she's going to do something, she makes sure it happens no matter what it takes. She collects, and they collect Native American art, and they have their own gallery at the museum, and you would not believe the collection that they have given to the Texas Tech Museum. I think she gives back because of her generous heart. She's been very blessed, and I think her generous personality comes out in helping others or helping other organizations. That's just part of her nature. She's a little firecracker, and you can't help but be attracted to her and her husband, Bill. I think Evelyn deserves this Community Women of Excellence Award because of the foundation she's built on. She is sincere and caring and very generous to our community here in Lubbock. Recently, I think with part of this award coming up, that it's given her something to reach for and to try and get better. And I know that tonight, if she's in that wheelchair, it doesn't matter, she's here, and she's going to be able to represent herself and the kind of excellent woman that she is.
Escorting Evelyn Davies to the stage on behalf of founding Women of Excellence sponsor and YWCA corporate sponsor, Allen Henry Insurance, is Mr. Allen Henry. Presenting this year's award is the great-granddaughter of Mary Nell Strong, Miss Evelyn Strong, a fourth grade teacher at All Saints Episcopal School.
Well, Evelyn, it never fails. Technology failed us again, didn't it? We were going to make an entrance, and Evelyn and I were going to fly in and really impress you. And that didn't happen, but we're here. It's such a pleasure to introduce and to present to Evelyn this award from the YWCA. You know, Mary Nell Strong was such a strong supporter of the YWCA and everything in Lubbock, Texas. And to have this award named for her and to be able to present it to Evelyn Davies is a double honor for all of us this evening. Evelyn and I and Bill first met about 35 years ago when they moved to Lubbock. I went out to discuss their homeowners insurance with them, which I thought would be very routine. First thing I found out was that Bill had Native American art in every room that needed to be taken care of. But then I met Peaches and Primrose. Peaches and Primrose were the Great Danes, about 4 feet high, maybe 5. And first question was, are there any animals? So I said, aren't they just sort of members of the family? And she said, yeah. I said, okay, that'll take care of it. So for the next 40 years, we've been working together, and we're so pleased that you are honoring and we are honoring Evelyn Davies, and it's a real pleasure for this presentation to be made to you. You're on. I'll hold it.
About like this. Can you hear me all right? I'm so overcome with pride and joy to receive this beautiful, beautiful trophy in honor of a wonderful lady, and to meet darling Evelyn, who is in her family. I met Trey earlier. He was here. Um, I would like to paint for you two scenes, a little apart in years, and a little apart in geography. The first was in Houston. When my children went to college, I decided to go to the University of Houston and learn more. I had a bachelor's degree in English. In order to get into the master's program in English at the University of Houston, the director told me that I must take and pass 2 regular university courses in English, each with a credit of 3 hours. One of the courses was just fine. That was not a problem. The other course, however, was in the dramas presented during the Restoration period in England. When I went into the room, I met the professor, a man who was probably in his late 20s. He did not delight in having an old woman in his class, and he made it very clear. He ridiculed me in front of the other students. He made remarks about old age involving senility and sometimes viciousness. I wanted that 3 hours credit badly. I needed it. I went to work for that man. I wrote and rewrote papers. We used typewriters at that time. I would be up till 11 o'clock at night redoing a paper for that unforgettable personality. This is not to revile all English professors. Some of them are pretty good. This one needed a little education. I did twice the work that he required in that course. I got my A. I got my A. And did go on to receive the master's degree from the University of Houston. And the graduation exercises were a whole different story that you don't have time to hear. But I'll tell you, it was different for me. The second scene I would like to draw for you was several years later. The ranch near Snyder, which had belonged to my parents, was being run by a committee. Not good for the ranch and not pleasant for the committee running it. I bought out everyone else. And I decided to own the ranch that had belonged to my parents. One of the parts of ranching that some of you may know is that there are annually huge conventions put on by the Texas and Southwestern Cattle Raisers Association. And they're great. Bill at that time was with me, and we went to most of them, and we listened to the lectures and met other people and so forth. One of the things that happened at that convention was that when we went to a vendor's booth, the person in charge there would have literature available. You know what they would give me? Pot scrubbers. Hot pads with the company name printed on them. When we were at the booth, the vendor would say, "Hi, honey, how'd you like a new iPad?" to me, and then he would say, "Mr. Davies, let me tell you about this special form of cattle feed that we have available for cows who are finishing one pregnancy and starting another, and you will find it very good for the cows." Wow. None of those vendors ever received any order of any kind for any product for the Diamond M Ranch. That seemed to fit the event this evening. Be brave, be bold, stand by what you believe. Stand by it, make it happen. Coincidentally on time, and very happy development is that in New York City, earlier this week, a group put a statue on Wall Street. This statue is of a girl, about like our precious Evelyn here, in a cute little fluffy skirt and hair so fresh and youthful, just charming. And that little girl in the statue is standing there with arms akimbo, facing the statues of a great roaring bull and a snarling bear. And she's smiling. Good for her. She'll make it. She'll make it. Oh, I'm going to disappear now, to your great relief, and the and the service of your dinner. But let me say to our good friends who are here tonight, don't keep clutching those tear-stained hankies. Bill and I are getting out of these chairs. Later in the year, maybe late August, somewhere in there, there'll be a situation where there's this huge electrical fixture hanging from the ceiling that revolves and makes a beautiful pattern on people and tables. The drummer is there, and his sticks are doing somersaults, and the saxophone player has his eyes closed, he's leaning back, and he is pointing that horn upwards. When that happens, I'm telling you, Bill and I are going to give you fits with our New Orleans moves on the dance floor. Thank you.
Thank you.